to them. The Ozzy and Guys. The Ozzy and Guys. With Greg and Joe.
Welcome to episode 225 Ozzy and Guys podcast with Greg and Joe. I, of course, am Greg, and I'm joined as always over the Skype ways by who the fuck are you?
Obviously, Joe Jackson.
Obviously, Joe Jackson.
I was going to say the original, but I'm not the original.
You're not the original, no.
I am the alive.
You're not
one.
like a defect clone, though, either.
No, absolutely no. But I'm not like not nearly as famous as the previous.
Well, the other two Joe Jacksons, right?
3, I think.
3. Wow.
And Michael Jackson's dad.
Yes,
there's
that's
Joe
what I was
Jackson,
thinking.
the singer, and Joe Jackson, the baseball player.
Oh, well, there you go. Joe Jackson does sound, out of all of those, it does sound more like a baseball player's name.
Yeah.
Then I would say
He
other
was,
two.
he was called Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, I like that. That's
don't
cool.
know. I assumed he wore shoes.
I'd assume he would wear shoes. Despite the name, I would still
would
make the assumption he wore shoes. I would eschew such a thing. Don't you eschew me.
I assume.
Did you just eschew my footwear? How fucking dare you? What do you know the fuck I am?
How goes it, sir?
Yes, it goes. So I'd say, I know the last few episodes, I'd say the last few, probably the last many, the last many, I know have been up and down in quality of audio and content, and that's been on me because, as I've mentioned a few times, having quite a few months, which is still ongoing, and this episode will be no different, but I have gone for the traditional setup this time, so the audio should be better at least.
Put too much pressure on yourself, mate.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's not
but
your
at the
fault.
moment,
It's not your fault.
At the time of recording, my nan is basically dying in hospital right now. So
we're going straight in, are we?
I'm just setting the scene quite up that, that's what's happening. So this episode is going to also be a little bit shorter again because I'm probably going to have to go to the hospital. But we will see. It's been a long old. I'll tell you how I found out in a minute. We'll have to rewind first. Neep, 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 neep. In fact, before we get into that, you catch up. You fill us in on you, Jackson, before I go in because mine's going to go in all sorts of directions.
Yeah, I'm good. I've been at
What have you been up to?
Nothing. What a surprise.
You had a week off, didn't you? Has that been since we last recorded?
Yeah, I had a.
How many
a
sandwiches
week
did you make?
Not many. Not many. And
Wow,
also
that's surprising.
It was a lazy week.
That's surprising.
I didn't really do an awful lot, in all honesty, which was fine. Enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Enjoyed being quite lazy.
He's all for not doing a lot.
We had a knock on the door yesterday on our flat door, which doesn't happen because you got a buzz to get in. So it had to be
actually, like upstairs, like physically at your door.
Yeah. And
that used to always freak me out when I lived in a flat when somebody actually knocked on the actual door. And I was like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah. But we had a knock on the door, but we thought it was someone knocking on our neighbour's door because it wasn't it wasn't like a big like boom boom boom.
Yeah.
And then Becca went out for a cigarette, and then she came back in immediately with a post-it note. And it was a post-it note from our neighbours inviting us to dinner.
Wow!
Which was a lovely gesture, and they're very very nice people. Really easy
I wonder
to
if
get
he had
on.
the post-it note ready to hand when they knocked, or they
Don't
went
know.
back and wrote the post-it note.
Not sure.
Interesting.
But, we did
not an important question, I guess.
I had.
Did you just write no and stick it back on their door?
I had what could only be described as an anxiety meltdown, because obviously we are recording tonight, and therefore couldn't attend. But we then had to explain that we wouldn't be able to join them for dinner. And it was just like, what are we going to say? I was like, I don't want to tell them I'm doing a podcast. They'll ask about the podcast, and then they'll listen to it and realise that I'm somewhat of a dick.
He's slagging us off on his podcast. Jesus Christ, Indiana. Oh, God, Indiana, that scared the hell out of me.
Oh, that was good. You got him good there.
God.
You
I
got
didn't hear
him
you
good.
come in. I didn't even hear you come through the bedroom door.
Oh, that was superb. For those listening at home, Indiana just creeped up on Greg, and it was fantastic.
I didn't know who you were. I didn't think you were anyone else. I just turned around and there were some eyes looking at me.
Sneaky.
It's not like I
Very
mistook
sneaky.
you for somebody else and reacted. It was just the fact there was a person there.
I didn't even clock her. Like,
I didn't even hear the door go. I didn't hear that door open. I heard nothing.
cheeky.
Nothing at all.
What a creep.
Oh,
What a creep.
You're right, Indiana. You scared me then.
Hello.
Sorry.
Whoa,
Joe says hello.
whoa.
Hello.
Where's your tooth?
Oh, yeah. Where's your Joe wants to know where your tooth's gone? Got 2 missing teeth.
Oh,
Yeah. 4.
you've been fighting.
4 missing. You've had 4 teeth out. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look at that. You're that age now.
Big time. Old age.
Toothless
That's it.
Indiana. Toothless
won't-
Indiana.
Toothless. She's got shoeless Joe Jackson and toothless Indiana
Toothless
Armstrong.
Indiana. Yeah.
When you come downstairs, come
Yeah.
straight to the sofa.
Why?
Because there's a notebook where you have to open together.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay,
nice.
then. Let me do this then, and then I'll come down,
How
okay?
long will you be there?
Well, I've only just started.
Oh.
But it's not going to be a long episode, okay?
Well, it's only been like half an hour.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe
you
half
can have
hour,
you
yeah.
can have your dad back in a bit.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, then. You go back, and I'll finish up this. Thank you,
See ya.
Indiana, for scaring the head out of me. So, how did you explain the non-attendance of dinner?
Well, it was mentioned that I had to record. It was Becca took the charge because I was freaking out, and I was like, I don't want to just turn these people down because they're actually really quite nice.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, well, so we knocked on their door, had a little bit of a chat, and it was just like, and Becca said, "We're come bearing bad news. We're unable to attend dinner tonight." And they're like, "Oh, that's all right." And she said, "Joe's got to record with his friend," and they got really excited. They're like, "Oh, recording!" And I was like, "Well, hang on." Like this, like it's just like don't. I'm not some like voiceover actor or anything at all. I just like it is just a podcast. And then I went into it. I was just like, we've been doing it for like 8 years. It got us through COVID. It was really like it just became like a coping mechanism more than anything.
yeah.
I'm not gonna go into it, but I do have to record.
Yes.
So yeah. That was fun. And then, as I said, we still stood like in the hallway chatting for like 20 minutes about just like the randomest shit. But so
Yeah.
they're easy to get on with. So I'm sure we'll.
That's
we'll
good. It's good when you get to know
link
your
with them.
neighbours.
Yeah, it was
You've
good.
done it quick as well. The whole time I lived in the flat for 5 years, the whole 6 years I've lived there, I've never been invited to dinner by any of my neighbours.
Says something about you, Greg.
I guess it does actually. It probably does have something about me, to be fair. I'd agree with that. Oh, wonderful. There you go. That's Joe caught up.
That's it.
So I turned...
obviously as well. Yes, we went out for your birthday as well. But I will let you
That's-
continue your story.
Yeah, always we did that. So I turned 40. I was off week for the work. I was off work for the week.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really a particularly great 40th. As I say, the shit's not great at the moment, but it wasn't a great 40th birthday because I had to have my colonoscopy. Just to refresh everyone, I'm meant to have them every 2 years.
The sequel is finally
well,
here.
I think this was my 3rd one or 4th one, but I'm meant to have them every 2 years because I have something called Lynch syndrome, which means I have no defense against bowel cancer. And by my age, I think my mum was on a second go of having bowel cancer.
Yeah.
And I have a much unhealthier lifestyle than my mum does. So I'm always like, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one.
This is my year.
This is the one. And also, it was a year late, so it's been 3 years since my last one because of COVID and just the NHS being overstretched and overworked. So I've been moved to St George's Hospital, which even though it's a bit of a faff to get to, their genetics department's way more superior to Kingston's, and they're really on it. And just really good. So I was obviously dreading going, but also when it fell 2 days after my birthday, I was a bit like, fuck. But I couldn't really be like, oh, that's too close to my birthday because I've been waiting over a year for this and I'm freaking out that I have bowel cancer, so I need to get it done. But that means that I have to do 2-3 days of this weird liquid diet. In fact, the day before I didn't really eat anything. I only have water and black coffee. It was fucking horrible. I was fucking starving. I reread the sheet and it said that I was allowed to have jelly, but only yellow or green.
Why limited? I guess red is yeah.
And I was so hungry that I was like, I'm gonna get some of this fucking. I don't even really like jelly. I'm gonna get some. Man, I drove to 8 different shops and they all only had red. I was just like, fuck. So
Obviously, there's a lot of colonoscopies going on at the moment.
Yes, obviously, just had to not have it.
Nothing to do with the flavours of jelly being
No, but the night before, so the night before said colonoscopy, I have to have this mixture, and this was a different one to I've had previously. This one had it's called Pevula or something. So I have to mix in this. Apparently it was mango flavoured. I didn't even taste any mango, but I have to mix this powder in with 500 milliliters of water. mix it all up. It said to put it in the fridge beforehand because apparently making it cooler helps you deal with the horrible fucking taste. So yeah, maybe. So I did that. And you drink it, and it obviously makes you shit. Unlike the previous one, which had me on the toilet all night, this one kind of like just isolated me, just a good solid half hour of liquid shitting.
Oh, good stuff, yeah.
It was good stuff, but also it wasn't... It was harder to drink, this one, and it made me really fucking unwell. I don't remember suffering this much before, but it made me so unwell. I felt so shit. My stomach was fucking killing me. I had the worst headache.
I remember when you first had it and you were doing like live updates of you shitting and you were just like 20 minutes in and we were like, oh, that's not too bad. And then you were just like hour and 30 minutes in and we're just like, Jesus Christ.
I know, yeah, it was insane. So yeah, this was a bit full on, this one, and it just made me feel really fucking rough. And then the next morning I had to get up at 5 a.m. and do a double dose.
Oh, lovely.
Of what I'd had.
You lucky boy.
I literally, my dad came to pick me up and I was literally still shitting. And I'm like, fuck, man, I got to get in a car. Like,
Are you going to make it?
It took like an hour to get there as well because of like traffic and shit and roadworks. Oh,
and
my God, it was so
as
intense.
much as your dad does love you, I'm sure he doesn't want you to shit in his car.
No, I'm sure he doesn't, no. I did bring a spare pair of boxers, which are actually still in my bag. So if anyone looks in my bag, they're going to think I have issues.
No, fair enough. You never know when you'll need him, Greg.
Exactly.
Keep
but
him in there because I feel like
you never know.
keep him in there. You never know.
You never know, just in case. Got to St George's, and to be fair, they were really good. I was there about 10 minutes early, but they got me in straight away, put me straight into me dignity pants and me fucking robe. Got me straight on a ward. Like, got the cannula in.
It's a good hospital. They're
it is
pretty
a really good
solid
hospital.
there.
Yeah, when I stayed there before with the whole milk your neck episode,
If you
like
go
it was
to the right
good.
place where you're supposed to go, it's fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I found it pretty easy, the place, but they were very nice. Everyone there was very nice. I felt okay, and it was done really quickly. I was in and out fairly quick. 'Cause in Kingston, I'm usually there all fucking day. It feels like. Got in there, and there was a few of us on the ward. Some people just had one, were about to have one. One guy got out his bed and started wandering around talking to other patients, and I'm just like, don't fucking come near me. Don't fucking come near me, please, man. I don't need this.
She just ripped that big post colonoscopy fart right in his direction.
Yeah. So they give me the cannula, and they get me into the room, and as usual, lay on your side, knees up, fucking make sure the little parting's open in the back of your fucking arsehole dignity pants. They gave me the sedation, which doesn't knock me out completely. It just makes me feel... They describe it as, oh, you feel like you had a couple of glasses of wine. This one actually made me feel a bit way more like, ugh, than usual. Like,
Yeah.
I was really like, oh, fucking hell, I'm off. This is fucking great. And then the doctor was like, right, I'm going to start with my finger, which I've not heard before.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, oh, okay. Honestly, mate, I didn't even notice when it went from finger to camera. Like, I honestly didn't notice. Like, when I've had it previously, the whole experience is very uncomfortable, and you feel it, and you feel it when they blow the air into your stomach. Like, but I didn't feel any of it this time. I literally.
Were you just like, is it in yet?
Yeah, it wasn't until I looked up at a screen, and I was like, oh, there's my guts.
Yeah.
They're in. It's happening. And again,
start
as
with my
always,
finger.
and even I know, I was like, that's a fucking opening line. The nurse was like. Again, and they said this every time I've had one in Kingston. This time, a new nurse in St George's was just like, "You've got very clean bowels," and I'm like,
Such
"Thank
a
you,
weird flex.
thank you. I keep them busy."
I keep them busy.
I'm glad
I keep
you
them
noticed.
Keep them on their toes. I keep
them
my
on
bowels on their toes.
Yeah. I make sure they get the job
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
They're in constant use. They're always cleaned out, clean as a whistle. That's me.
That's it.
But it
I
was
really
in
like
there.
to test them out with the odd random kebab house here and there. you
Yeah.
know.
Do you even know the chili sauce? See how I get on. But yeah, he was in there for a little while. And,
He was in there for a little while.
he cut 2 growths out of me.
Okay.
Pollux, but my pollux are a bit different. Everyone has them, but mine are a bit different because mine look like little brains rather than being smooth, and little brains are the ones that potentially turn cancerous.
Yeah.
So, and I'm already convinced, even though I have no symptom change, just because of time and my age, I'm like, oh, I've definitely got it.
Okay.
Waiting for him to be like, oh my God. But he didn't say anything.
But then
He just
this
said
is the reason why they're doing them every
why
couple
I'm doing
of years,
it.
right?
Yeah. So he cuts them out of me. I don't see them, but he cuts them out of me. I don't know how they do it through the camera, but it's cut out of me, removed from me. He has a bit of a whiz around, and then takes it out. And he's like, oh, you were very good. I was like, yeah, well, I'm not my first rodeo.
You're a good boy. You're a very good boy.
And he's like, right, we're going to send these off to the lab. And I'm like, okay. And then he's just like, oh, how did you feel waiting here towards, as opposed to like being in Kingston and stuff? I was like, mate, I didn't really notice what you were doing back there, to be honest with you. Like, it was quite good. Like,
you were light as a feather in there.
I was like, it's not my ideal way to start the day, but he's always, of course. I was like, but it was all right. And they've wheeled me back into the ward, and I've got to stay there for half hour to let the sedation wear off. They bought me some biscuits, which I was just like, because I hadn't fucking eaten.
What biscuits did you get?
I think. Do you know? I didn't even look at them. They just handed me two little clear packets of biscuits, and the hospital biscuits, and I was just like,
I'm such a picky cunt. I've probably been like, you got any balls?
I don't know. When you haven't eaten for like days, like
even
they could have given me a fucking chew, and I would have eaten it. Like,
fucking prick. I'm going to show you how dedicated to bourbons are. I have a bourbon tin, Greg.
Is it full of bourbons?
No, I ate them all.
I like a bourbon as well, to be fair. I'm a big fan of bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get back and I'm back on the ward, and I'm just like, okay, that wasn't too bad. Like, we got to wait around now, and it's just like, and they kept coming back, and Dad couldn't park outside because it's a nightmare. They wouldn't let me go down there to like meet him. He had to come up to meet me.
Yeah.
He couldn't park the car. I kept trying to explain to them, he can't park the car. They were like, so, okay, well, just get him to come up. And I'm like, yeah, but he can't park the car. Yeah, just get him to come up. And they walk away, come back. Is he up yet? I'm like, no, he can't park. He's driving in circles out there. He can't. Like,
what part of this are you not understanding?
Like, am I tripping balls? Have I not told you? Maybe I am. Like, I'm fucking pretty deep. You've been pretty deep into my arsehole by this point. Which, I say was quite nice. And eventually they got this...
don't knock it till you tried it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Eventually they got this really angry man to walk me downstairs.
Super.
He seemed really angry about walking me down there. Like... And I was like... And he's like, oh, I don't want to get the lifts, we'll walk. And to be fair, I prefer stairs to lifts. But I had been sedated and just had a colonoscopy.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And I just had 2 growths cut out of me. So
not the ideal scenario.
Yeah. So I head down. I walk downstairs. Fine. Eventually, the guy sees me to the door and he's like, all right, and fucks off. And I'm like, oh, what's the point in all this then? Like, you've just left me here anyway. Dad pulled up, flagged him down, got in the car, and was like, right, when I get home, I'm going to order some food, some nice food. I'm going to fucking order it. Try not to shit myself on the drive home.
Super.
Get home, I get a French stick, and I was like, I just get a little bit of French stick. Maybe I just have some soup. I could put some tomato soup on, and literally ate the entire French stick while the soup was cooking, just like cutting chunks of it off and dipping it in while it's cooking. Like, I couldn't wait, man.
That's fucking sick.
Time the soup was done, I devoured an entire French stick, and God knows how much fucking cheese. I tell you what, I ate so much food, I felt worse that night. Like,
did you?
Fucking, I ate too much too quickly. My stomach's a fucking mess.
To be fair, that is a lot of bread for one person.
It was a lot of bread for like minutes as well, not for one person, for like the time frame that it went into. Like,
that is a whole bunch of bread.
And then I've got to wait a week for my results. It's just a long ass week. And then we get to a week, literally a week later, Thursday, and I see the no call ID come up, and I'm like, right, here we go. Hello, blah, 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 Mr. Armstrong, confirming date of birth. And she's like, right, we got the results. And it sounded really serious. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. She's like, they were benign. I'm like, oh, thank fuck for that. And then she actually said, this episode, they were benign. So you're okay. This episode.
Brilliant. Great.
I was like, oh, I didn't realize my colonoscopy was a podcast.
Yeah, tune in next week.
Yeah. And she's just like, we'll see next time, though. I'm like, great, okay. Well, I guess I'll see you in a couple of years then.
Yeah.
Like, this is fantastic. Hung up, and I was like, right, I need to like call Mum and tell her. Literally, I think I had 30 seconds of like being able to like rejoice in not having bowel cancer.
Yeah.
Before my dad walked into the shop and was like, "Oh, your nan's just had a massive stroke and she's been found unresponsive on the floor." And it was like, "Oh, right, okay, right." We've changed tracks pretty quickly on this one. Bearing in mind, my nan's been like in a hospital bed in her house with horrendous like Alzheimer's for ages.
Yeah.
So it's been a long fucking stretch. So she went to hospital that day, and then very quickly we were told they can't do anything apart from to make her comfortable and let nature take its course. And multiple times we've had the call of it's happening now, and then days later we're still going.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a bit of a head fuck, to be fair.
No,
you can't really relax. Like, you just can't relax.
I remember like being like when my dad was like in the final stages of cancer and stuff like that, I do remember like my sister texting me. I just turned up to work, or I was on my way to work, and my sister was just like, "Are you at home?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to work." And she was just like, "I think you should really go to Mum's." And I was like, "Why? What's happened?" They were just like, "Nothing's happened, but it's going to happen."
Right.
And I was just like, fucking hell, because I was like, there's no like, I was in denial for the entire like 3 months that he was like was in cancer. Like it was just like, oh no, like people survive cancer all the time, like this is not a problem. And it was just like, it took like 3 fucking months. So yeah, it is like, yeah, it's just one of those fucking things, you know. It's just like when someone sort of says like, yeah, this is it's happening, it's just like, you go. It's not fun, man. I'm sorry
no, it's not fun, and it's just a lot of weight. It's horrible because you kind of like, you want her to go, because
that's it, because it's
this is like dragged out lot, and plus she's in the hospital, she can't talk. She doesn't really know who anyone is. She doesn't know what's going on. And I know it sounds horrible to be like, you know, just pass. But you kind of just want it to. And also for like my mum's there they're there like all night. Like it's just so.
It's just, but it's like, I know what you mean. It sounds harsh, but at the same time, you're at that stage where it's just like, well, this is the only direction it's going to go, so you might as well go in that direction as soon as possible. Like it's not nice. Like you're not wishing. No,
exactly. It's not. She's healthy, and you're like, just die. Like,
yeah, that's it. Yeah, Greg, I've wished death on multiple healthy people.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So it's been a rough ride. But backtracking, I missed out a good, nice, humorous part of my colonoscopy when I was on the phone to the woman, getting told the dates and stuff. And I did say to her, "Oh, that's very close to my 40th birthday." So technically I would have
was
to
she
start...
just like, all right, we'll put a candle in your ass after?
I was like, I'd have to start dieting the pre-colonoscopy diet from my birthday, which means I can't really have anything to eat on my birthday.
Yeah.
And she's like, after she'd asked me about my bowel movements, her response was, "With your regularity of your bowel movements, I think you'll be okay to enjoy your birthday still." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
It's strange that she uses the term regularity, because you like, as much as you're too regular, Greg.
It's true. Yeah, it is true. If I look at a toilet,
you're not irregular.
That might be the episode title.
Irregular.
Irregular. If I can remember that. See if I can quickly write that one down. Irregular. Nope, I've written kite for some reason. Doesn't make any sense at all.
But yeah, I think there's honestly not someone... I don't know anyone else that shits as much as you do, man. What can I say? We should get you a trophy.
I'll take a trophy.
Take a trophy?
There we go.
Right.
That was me all shitted out, and then I had I was recovering for a few days. It kind of ate up my whole week off work, really. Yeah. Until I got to Saturday. I think I came out with you and you and Joe. Yeah. You and Ed for a bit of day drinking.
Yeah. You say that like we invited you out. It was organised.
Oh, mate, fucking hell. I've got to tell you guys, this is fucking disgusting, everyone. I'm sorry. If you guys don't like stories about throwing up, you're not going to like this, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Oh, I had a customer
I went out with
today.
work Friday just gone. Today's Sunday. I went out Friday just gone. We went to this Chinese and Cheam. Mm-hmm. It was me and a couple of people from work. We go to this place occasionally. I don't even like Chinese, but they do a banging like starters menu. You pay like your 32 quid and just order what the fuck you want over and over and over. Their satay sauce is just unfucking real. It's got such a good kick to it. Mm-hmm. So we were all there for it, mate. We met in a pub before. Got so fucked. One of the managers, I'll just say, someone bought a like weed vape with them.
Oh, wonderful!
And was like, "Oh, try this," and it like fucked me, and it fucked him as well, mate. We were sat in the pub, and he's given it to me. I've had a bit. He said it turned me into talkative Greg.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I felt battered, but I was very talkative.
Whereas he was just probably like an indica sort of strain.
Whereas he apparently it was a combination of both. Oh. And he was just staring into space. So I'm over talking because he's not really responding. And then out of nowhere, he kind of almost interrupts me and looks at me and goes, "How's that vape hitting you?" I'm like, "Mate, I'm battered. Mate, I'm absolutely battered. I'm so fucked." Can't you tell? I can't stop talking. I'm really talkative. And he's like, yeah, that's what happens to me. I'm like, no, it isn't.
No, it doesn't.
That's
at all.
not what's happening to you at all.
Yeah,
That's not what's happening to you at all.
If
We'd
I
only
was-
had 2 beers when everyone else showed up, and they straight away were like, how many have you guys had?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the second. And they're like, what? Mate, got to the restaurant, just so fucked, so loud, drank so many more beers. Mate, I wish I could remember the things we were saying, but I just remember this old couple at the table next to us just kept looking at us in pure disgust.
Yeah.
Because I was loud. I definitely talked about wanking loudly.
Superb.
As we came to leave, I heard the woman say to her husband, oh my God, thank God they're leaving. Did you hear the conversations they were having?
Get over it, bitch.
I got home and was like, I feel great. I'll have a little spliff.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that.
Nah.
Had it, felt fine, laid on the sofa, room started spinning. Here we go. Couldn't get up in time and just threw up horrendously in the sink.
No, okay, that's fine.
I didn't
Sink's
even
fine.
make. No, it's not fine. I didn't make the back door. Made it to the sink in the kitchen.
No, that's
and it
okay.
it was bad. It was like bad. I'd eaten so much fucking food, mate. It was
Actually, no, that is a valid point.
And the whole sink, mate. The sink's almost full.
Shut
And I'm
up!
like-
Did you fill the sink?
Mate, it was like a whitey puke. It wouldn't stop. I was puking for like half hour straight. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do now? I'm so fucked, but I can't leave this. So I'm like, listeners, I apologise for the next bit. It's where it gets a bit disgusting. I had to like put my hand in it.
Yeah, man.
And was like swirling my finger in the plug hole.
Yeah.
So all the liquid's going, all the liquid drains away, and then it leaves, and honestly, it literally looks like I've left bucket of tuna in there. None of it is tuna, it's all just various meats. But obviously, and I'm like, what do I do with all this? So, mate, I'm like scooping it up, and I'm obviously like, because of the fucking smell.
I just that got me a little bit. That one,
and I'm like throwing it into the food bin. Mate, it took so long to. I couldn't believe I cleaned it in that state. I couldn't believe I managed to clean it in that state. I just knew if I left it, it was going to stink the whole house out.
I have
bagged it all up. Oh, it was horrible.
I've had a sick in sync situation myself. With,
in sync, fucking. Oh, all right, Justin Timberlake.
a sick in sync. Fuck you. This was I was hanging out with members of the Fighting Cock staff, which will go unmentioned, and it was we'd all gone out, and we'd come back, and we were upstairs, and said member of staff messaged me and said, like, come to the toilets immediately. So I went, and then I walk in, and there is just a sink full of puke, and it won't go. It's like there's no plug in. It's just not going anywhere. And I was just like, oh god, okay. So how are we gonna sort this out? And I'm looking around, like turned into MacGyver, looking around the surroundings, and just like, that's something that could work. It was just like a knife on the floor. It was just like a chopping knife.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this could work. So basically, stuck that into the sick, and then sort of like just mixed it around a little bit in the plug hole. And I don't know what was blocking it, but suddenly it just like a little bubble came out, just and it all just went down.
That noise, kaboop.
Yeah, and then just straight down. And I was like, oh, we're sorted, fine. Washed off the sink, returned to the gathering. It was fine.
It's fine. We've sussed it. We've done it.
God, do you remember the time we were in there in the afternoon and there was just sickles outside the girls' toilet?
I was just thinking about it. That time I helped them clean it up. That was right. That was
and
rough,
I was just there taking
rough.
photos. I was just taking photos with it.
That was rank. That was
so
fucking
gross.
rank.
It was like 3 in the afternoon. And
Yeah, they were short staffed, weren't they? So
I
I helped them. I stepped in and helped clean it.
It was a bad one.
That was a fucking bad one.
No one knew who it was either.
No one knew. It's the first time I think I went in the girls' toilets was that day.
You
You literally couldn't shut the door, could you? There was too much. You couldn't even shut the door properly to the girls' toilets. It was fucking rank.
I went in the girls' toilet once, only because Ellie. I was in there again daytime, midweek daytime, and Ellie said to me, "Do you know your name is written in the girls' toilets?" And I was like, "Well, I have to go and see this because it could be either good or bad." So it's just like, Ellie, can I go in? Can I go into the? I asked for permission first. I was just like, can I just go in and just check what's in there? And she was like, yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Of course you can.
And I went in, and it was let's just put it as it was a compliment.
Oh, brilliant! Compliments are good. That's what you want. If you're going to appear written on toilets, you wouldn't be a compliment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it probably got changed to not
go
a
fuck
compliment.
yourself, Jackson.
Yeah, it was probably a go fuck yourself quite quickly, but at the time it was a nice ego boost.
So before we got a few Geezedrops and stuff. Before we go into the Geezedrops, I just wanted to, maybe you could help explain this to me because I'm sure you might know about it.
Okay.
This the Ozzy and Kanye West beef that's going on.
So
he sampled about to say Steel Panther. Then
he
Black
sampled was it War Pigs or something?
Right. Okay.
He sampled like a live version of I think War Pigs.
Right.
But it didn't get cleared. And then Sharon Osbourne put out, I'm assuming because fuck knows Ozzy doesn't know how to use a keyboard. Sharon Osbourne put out a statement, or the Ozzy Osbourne group, I guess, put out a thing saying like this sample was not cleared. We want no association with this anti-Semitic piece of shit. And it's just like, oh no, what she said, you fucked off the wrong Jew. Yeah. It's basically what I hear. So his album Vultures came out, which has been like delayed. It was supposed to be out in December, was supposed to then got moved to January, supposed to drop then, didn't, finally dropped like start of February. And apparently is just like it's mixed reviews. I don't know. Yeah. It's like some of it's good, some of it's bad. But it's just Kanye West. Who knows anymore?
Who fucking knows?
Who knows? But he one of these samples he did not clear. And
but then he came back at them, didn't he, or something? Like he's been giving them
Kanye
shit
fucking
back.
West, like.
Well, I mean, you're not going to want to go up against fucking Ozzy Osbourne, really, are you? Not him. Really. I mean, when I say Ozzy Osbourne, I mean more like his estate rather than him personally.
Yeah. I was going to say Ozzy's there right now. Just be like, and what's going on?
Yeah. What is Sharon? Deal with this, will ya? Deal with this, will ya?
Yeah. So it's a funny old time in the world of music.
Man, that's a good head-to-head though. I like the idea of that's a good beef. I think Kanye West and Ozzy Osbourne. It's a good beef.
Yeah. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne again. You would probably have to explain it to him. It's just like again, just what's happened? Who's Kanye West? What have I done? He's like, no, Ozzy, you've done nothing. Okay.
Who is Kanye West?
At least he probably knows who. I think there's that infamous fucking. He was for some reason Ozzy Osbourne was being interviewed by Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. And Mark Hoppus brought up Justin Bieber, and Ozzy Osbourne just goes, "Who the fuck is Justin Bieber?"
Who is that?
And he's just like, "That's all we need. We don't need an answer from you. That is the best answer we're going to get."
Crack on. Speaking of cracking on, should we move into Geezedropping?
I'd love to.
So we hear snippets of a conversation sent in by you or us. Read them out of context. What did you hear? What does it mean? What does it mean, Geezedropping?
Having a listen.
You've got some, right? You said?
I've got 3 that I heard myself.
Oh wow! Once you heard yourself, I think have I got one I heard? I've got 2 I heard myself.
Superb. Excellent.
So let's do. Should we do our own ones first? Go on, Jackson. Crack on.
Just also a shout out, Top Shagger. Is everything all right? Because I haven't heard from you in a while.
What's going on, Top Shagger? What's going on? I saw you at Chesmore Adventures recently, so we know we're still there. Literally around the corner from my house, actually.
Have you had an ear injury? Is that
what's going on?
What's going on? Maybe he's just having some time off from listening to stuff. That's fine.
Maybe.
It's all right. We're just making sure you're all right. That's all it is.
Just checking in, that's all.
I heard this. I was walking behind a group of school lads, and I heard one of them just say, "I swear bus drivers just want to ruin our day." I'm just like, I can assure you they don't. Basically, a bus had pulled up. Was at the bus stop, and they'd ran over the street to try and catch it, and he'd slightly pulled away but didn't keep going because like there was traffic or the lights had fucking changed, and they were all just there just being like yo, like waving and stuff, and he was just like nope.
No.
Nope. He noped it, and they did not get on the bus. I heard this whilst we were in the Antelope on your birthday.
Oh, brilliant.
So we did, for Greg's birthday, we all did meet up, and we did like a slight little pub crawl, didn't we?
Okay, like a Surbiton pub crawl. We even went to a pub we'd never been to before.
We went to a pub we'd never been to.
Played with pigeons.
What was it called? What was the
Fox and Hounds, I think.
Fox and Hounds. Genuinely lovely pub. Walked
Yeah,
in.
it was a good time.
Walked in, no one in there, and we're just like,
No.
what the fuck? And then the guy was just like, yeah, we don't usually open till 4:00, but we tried it today, and no one's turned up except for you guys.
Yeah,
And
he
it's
said we
like,
opened early for the rugby, and I was like,
Yeah.
we're not even here for the rugby.
we're not here for the rugby. We're not.
I
There's
have
other
committed.
people-
I have committed the free posters in the toilets to memory. There was Pizza Wednesday.
I remember that one.
There was Fish and Chip Friday,
Don't remember
and then
that one.
once a month there was Food Day.
Food day, non-specific.
Just Food Day.
That is
I like.
when the pigeons outside go mysteriously
Oh, that's
disappear.
true. Yeah, the pigeons.
There was a lot of pigeons. Let's
Loads
just
of
talk about that
pigeons.
for a moment. So
they
there
were
was like
they were like nice looking pigeons.
they
Still
were
not like
good
the
pigeons.
fuck,
There
but
was
they were
like
nice
two-
looking pigeons
there
in
was
general.
two white ones. I don't know if that's doves
Yeah,
or not.
doves.
but
If
it
you're
was-
interested in seeing how lovely the pigeons look, there is a picture of one on the Ozzy and Kayne Instagram.
go to the Fox and Hounds if you want to see the real deal.
There you
but
go.
they had like bird feeders outside, and then I was just like, well, fuck it. Like they were pretty chill. They weren't like panicked because we were outside. So I got some of the bird seeds and put them on the table and just wanted to see how close we could get to them. Part of me was just like, could I catch a pigeon? Could I actually grab and catch a pigeon? But did not come to light. But before all that, we were in the Antelope having some food. And
Yes.
you'll remember this. There was a group of people that were possibly going to a wedding
Yeah,
before.
seemed
They
that
were
way.
like
Yeah.
pre-gaming a wedding.
Kept coming over to us for lighter.
She did, yeah. And in fact, this is the same girl who I heard this
Oh,
say
brilliant.
this. So she was talking quite loudly for us to hear all sort of conversation.
Yeah.
And what I heard for her that really stood out was we had to wheel my granddad upstairs. Him with a hard on. And then, Granny, he's ready for you.
Oh my god. That's commitment. That's commitment. Do you want me to pop it in for you? Do you want me to pop it in for you? Are you ready, son?
I'll get her ready for you, Grandad.
That's disgusting.
It
Good
was,
on them
yeah.
though. Helping out. Why not?
And then a couple of days before Valentine's Day, I was in Lidl with Becca, and there was someone on their phone at the self-checkouts, like having just the loudest conversation. And I heard them go, "What am I going to do? Buy some heart-shaped chocolates for myself and go home and eat them by myself? I don't think
Yes.
so.
Not on my watch.
Not on my watch."
Not on my watch, bitch.
Yeah, and that's what I had.
Okay, so I've got two. I only got two. On the Monday before my birthday, I went up London and I was in Size, a shoe shop.
Yep.
And I heard a staff member who, I don't know, he didn't even seem to really believe what he was saying. I think he was just trying to make small talk. But I heard him turn to another staff member and go, "It's funny how different people like different things."
You fucking... Is he autistic? What the fuck?
The other guy was just like,
That's not the first time he's had that conversation with that
not
person.
the first time. This guy, I don't even know where I heard this. I think I was in a pub. Where did I go into a pub recently that seemed a bit...
Off.
Oh, okay. This was in the pub I went to before going to the Chinese.
Okay.
It's a bit of a rough pub, I think. Like, I don't feel very... it's quite rough in there. Anyway, I heard someone... I think it was like a builder or something. He was like, "I'm at work, nothing to do, and it smells like shit, and the closest coffee shop is half a mile away."
Well, that man needs to be more prepared. Is my takeaway from that?
While we're in the said pub, Frank, who's from New Zealand, was like, "Oh, what do you call that?" And pointing to the fruit machine. He's like, "What would you call that?"
Oh, they
and
call
I was
it-
like,
No, sorry, carry on. Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, a fruity." And he was just like, "Right, okay, what would you call it?" Everyone was like, "Yeah, a fruit machine or a fruity." He's like, "We call them pokies."
Yes!
And I'm like, "Oh, I've heard that before. I've heard that." And he's
is it.
like, "We also call them a bricklayer's laptop," which I really liked. That cracked me up. I really liked that.
Say what you... Australians come up with the best nicknames for shit, I swear to God.
Bricklayer's laptop. Fucking brilliant. Fucking
That's
loved it.
fucking great.
I have a Geezedrop from Marin here.
Okay.
In the toilets at the Grove, always good for Geezedropping. The Grove toilets.
Actually, to be fair, really good.
Always
really,
good. And
really
I think this is obviously a little conversation. You've got two here. You've got one person then replying to another. "You don't have Snapchat anymore." Yeah, I realised I had to be an adult, so no.
good. No fair dues.
Sobering.
Did you ever have Snapchat,
sobering.
Greg?
I think I had it for about 20 minutes once when I was at Hilfiger.
I didn't understand it.
No, I didn't understand it either.
did not
I was like,
understand
I don't need this in my life.
It's fucking lame.
I don't need this. Stuart sent us one.
Oh, good stuff.
Walking past the kids' playground on the way to the pub, a lad of primary school age shouts at a bunch of older girls very loudly, Get out of here, you... Jesus. Get out of here, you discombobulated bitch rats. Discombobulated bitch rats. Fuck,
rats.
man. That's a... Whoa. That man
The
had things to say.
discombobulated is impressive.
He had things to say.
God damn, he is.
now
That
Sam
is a
sent us
man
a
who
bunch.
he's learned that word recently and was just
Discombobulated. I'm going to use
itching
this.
to use it in a sentence.
Right, Sam sent us a fair few.
He did.
So I'm going to... I can't tell if this audio one's different.
Greg, have you read the book I made? I wrote it all myself. I did all the photos. Oh, you haven't. Well, you want to spread my arms, Chief?
Oh, no, that's not Geezedrops. We should probably mention, we met up with Sam, right, after the last episode.
No context from that voice audio as well.
We met up with Sam, didn't we? Obviously, last episode, we said we were
did.
off to go meet Sam.
We did, yes.
And we did, and it was
Sam
a lovely evening was had.
genuinely, it felt like so fucking normal. Like,
Yeah.
for someone that we'd literally met for the first time in person,
Yeah.
but have known for like 8 years.
Yeah.
It was so fucking fun. It was a really
Yeah.
good night.
It was good. It was really good. I really enjoyed hanging out
I
with
love
Sam
that
evening.
we met him near his work, and it took us like 45 minutes to look for a pub.
Yeah. Because we passed a lot. We dragged it
We
back to
passed
you when we
so many
started.
pubs.
Yeah. So Sam sent this the other day in the group. He said, I want to listen to some music, but the guy behind me on the tram is Geezedrop Gold. He's a Geezedrop Gold mind. And he's like, here's the highlights so far. Here we go. Her and Tom must be very comfortable if he's letting her wear that. Whatever that
she
is.
was wearing.
Wonder what it was. Wonder what he was
low-cut
wearing.
jeans.
Oh, he's letting her wear that. Wonder what that was. It's
Low-cut
giving
jeans.
me icky vibes.
What, like a child talk?
The
Is
word
that child
ick.
speak?
The
Yeah.
word ick. I know the word ick never went away, but it's definitely. I feel like it's getting used a lot more now.
Oh yeah, it's to
I
describe.
even saw in a headline the other day as like things that give you the ick. Like
it's to describe like
I mean, I get it, but like it's just
people
the
you're
fact that
dating, isn't it? Like
It's
no,
popping
it's
up
the game
again.
of the ick.
Although that's an ick. That's an ick.
If it's not that, it's like red flag. Like
Well, did he say why he was in the park?
that sounds noncy.
Tell her she's a fat bitch and move on. She is fucking fat. Have you seen the shadow she casts? Fucking eclipse.
Jesus Christ.
Sounds like he was on the phone having a right old bitch session. I
Yeah.
feel like he sent some more. Here we go. More Geezedrops on the train. I don't know if this guy was a rude boy or a roadman, but anyway, that's not a Geezedrop. That's what Sam put. I started reading it like it was a Geezedrop, and then realised he was just setting it up.
You had your Geezedrop voice on.
No, my fam. I'm on my way to see the cuz. Rapid like. Rapid like. It's good. So yeah, I'm going to have to wrap this episode up. But Joe, you had something you wanted to throw in at the end here?
Yeah, I came up with a would you rather that might be in your favour. And it's
in
not
my
like
favour,
it doesn't
you say?
involve like shagging your parents or anything at all. But
No,
it's
well,
it's
so
a
what's the
it's a
point
would
then?
you rather. It's what I'm calling it is would you rather, but. So I based this on superhero powers, Greg. So I'm going to reel off.
Okay.
I'm going to first of all ask you to choose out of these ones listed, two of these superpowers that you might want to have. All right.
Okay.
So first one is telekinesis, like reading minds. The ability to fly.
Is telekinesis reading mine, or is telekinesis moving stuff? With your mind?
Telekinesis is moving stuff with your mind. Telepathy, sorry.
Okay.
Telepathy, having the ability to fly, be invisible, superhuman strength, the ability to time travel, shooting laser beams, and turning into liquid. If you could just choose two of those.
Flying and superhuman strength.
Okay, so would you rather, Greg, you have
Fly or have superhuman strength?
Okay, would you rather have the ability to fly, but you can't fly any higher than 20 meters from the ground? Or have superhuman strength, but if you stub your toe, you die?
I do stub my toe a lot.
That's right. With you in mind, I was just like, he fucking rolls his ankle and stubs his toe.
I do a lot of damage. You know what? You know what's interesting? When you read those out, I was like flying. But then I was like, I couldn't really fly that high up because I'd just get cold.
Would it?
Like, right?
Would you?
Like,
do you want to hear what
cold,
the other?
right?
Do you want to hear what the other options are like?
So I probably would go for the flying with the 20 meters above the air because that's still pretty high.
It's
that's
not
like
bad.
what, a house?
It's not. Maybe here or there.
It's like a house height, isn't it? 20 meters. That's all you need.
I wrote all of these, but they're kind of like, you know, they're hindered. You know what I mean? They're just like, it doesn't sound
Hindu
entire,
then.
Greg.
Is it Hindu? That's right,
Hindu.
They're Hindu.
Yeah, I've turned Hindu, Greg. So the full options were: would you rather read minds, but your own thoughts are projected above your head in a text bubble for everyone to see? Have the ability to fly, be invisible, but your bollocks are always visible. Just your bollocks, and you can't cover them. Superhuman strength, the ability to time travel, but you can only go as far as 2 years into the past or future. You can. This one I was proud of. You can shoot laser beams out your eyes, but if someone claps, it changes where the laser beams shoot out of your body.
That's awesome. That's good.
And you can turn into liquid form, but the liquid is piss.
So time travel, I wouldn't want to fuck with time travel because I undid something.
Yeah.
But 2 years back, it's actually a safe time. I feel
that's not bad, is it?
I mean, you still could do some damage. But I'm not gonna change the entire. Or maybe you never know.
I mean, if this was 2003,
that actually makes a time travel one a bit more pleasable. If you like.
Like regulated. You wanted regulated. Is that all your issue with it? Is you wanted regulated time travel?
I wanted it regulated. Yeah. Because I could do some damage, man.
Yeah.
I could go back in time and stub me toe. Who knows?
That's it.
But I would probably say, out of my choices, I would go with the flying, but the 20 meters. I'm also a bit scared of heights, so
That's true.
I'd probably go for that one.
Yeah.
Although I do like the time travel one, and I do like the laser beam one. But if once they figure out what happens when you clap, it's just going to keep.
It's going to keep clapping.
It's like when you clap and it changes in the shade of a lamp. It's going to keep doing it and cycle through. Yeah. I want to get back for his penis again. Keep going. And what if you're having sex and you orgasm and sometimes maybe you might splurt a laser beam?
Or, does the clapping of thighs against
that's what I mean, yeah.
That's
and you're blasting, fucking our head explodes.
As I said, the beams could come out of anywhere,
You've just laser beamed the fuck out of her by mistake.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Risky business, mate.
It was
the idea. Yeah, it was the whole idea was superhuman powers, but that hinder you.
That would hinder you.
That would hinder you.
Yes,
I did. I was quite proud of the invisible, but your bollocks are always invisible. It's like this. I was just like, all right,
that is good.
Because invisibility is great, but that needs to be. How can it be like something you don't want to choose?
I feel invisibility out of all of them is the one that could potentially lead you down a more villainous path.
Yeah.
Because are you really just going to keep using it for good?
No,
At
absolutely
what point
not.
are you going? At what point are you going to start abusing that power of invisibility?
Yeah,
pretty quickly, I think.
I reckon it would be
pretty quickly.
I think doing the noble thing would get pretty boring quite quickly if you were invisible.
Exactly. What are you really going to do?
I mean, look what happened to Kevin Bacon in that film.
Oh, Hollow Man.
Yeah, just started.
And the sequel with Christian Slater.
Feeling up chicks.
The sequel with Christian Slater, Hollow Man 2.
And to be fair, if there was anyone that would look slightly like Kevin Bacon, it is Christian Slater. They look very, very similar.
That's true. Good point.
That the squinty eyes.
I'm going to wrap up by reading out a dream that popped up on my Facebook recently 7 years ago, which involves Sam's brother Gareth. It was quite a funny dream. I quite enjoyed it. Gareth Westwood, we called him on Facebook, whereas Sam Eastwood, they like to confuse us with their names.
For the point that we discussed it, I remember you and me.
I weren't sure who was who.
What is their actual surname?
What's the actual surname? So I've got 7 years ago, I wrote this dream. Last night, I dreamt I was in a room trying to sleep, but every time I nodded off, Leonardo DiCaprio would run in and beat the shit out of me and then leave. This continued all night. The following morning, I met up with Gareth Westwood, who insisted on going into every shop to buy presents for his brother. He walked out of one shop with a whole bag of plastic bus pass holders that had pictures of boobs on them. He told me it was the best £10 he ever spent. To which I replied, really? Was it though? And then I woke up.
Really? That's the best £10 you ever spent? Greg, what's the best £10 you ever spent?
Oh man, I don't know. Fucking,
Right?
probably something at a Star Wars convention. I don't know.
Most likely, yeah.
Probably picked up some bargaining along the way.
I think
a
mine
quick
would have
shout,
been like a metal grinder that I bought in Camden, I think.
Oh, was that a tenner?
That was probably a tenner.
Probably was a tenner. Who fucking knows? Nowadays, probably a fucking beer. Who fucking?
Oh, God, yeah.
Somebody was telling me they were at work. They went to a Weatherspoons the other day, and the pint they ordered in the spoons was like £8 something. Like, what the fuck did you order?
Was that neck oil?
Like, Jesus, no, it was like a blonde beer. Like,
to be fair,
hell.
I bought
neck oil was not even £8 in normal pints. Some of us is like £7 something, but Jesus Christ.
when we did go out for drinks for your birthday. Obviously, you met me and Ed in the Wagon and Horses.
Wagon horses, yeah.
And I bought the first drinks for just me and Ed, and it was for two fucking pints. It was £12. I was like, that is fucking Jesus.
I know, that is Jesus.
Outrageous.
Damn you, Jesus.
Outrageous.
Damn you, Jesus. So yeah, we're going to wrap up the episode, guys. Actually did a lot more than a half hour, so lucky you people. Enjoy. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, and hopefully I'll be a bit more level-headed and have some more. Actually, I have got some content that I actually did put together for this episode that I will save for the next one.
We'll do.
There we go. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Take care of yourselves. I've been Greg fucking bag of plastic bus holders Armstrong.
And I've been Joe. I'm going to use my finger, Jackson.
Oh, that's a good one. Bye.
You've been listening to the All Seeing Guys with Greg and Joe, where Greg probably had some kind of list and Joe most likely went for a piss 5 minutes before the end. If you hear this, it means that Greg hasn't sorted an outro yet. So maybe just imagine some music here, because honestly, that's all I actually wanted. Okay, bye.